lighting away his chance to the Modified Eliminator favorite, Buddy Ingersoll. Drew continues through, but he's done for the day. A tough break.
In 2007, my father had purchased a vehicle from Kohl's Shelton. So it was my brother, Tim Tygett, myself, and my father went to Kohl's. We were in the barn, and we brought the vehicle back home on a trailer. It was very rough. Still had the fenders, the hood, but it was in a state that had sat for 25 years.
Eliminator has his work cut out for him as he is pitted against the favorite Buddy Ingersoll from Ziegler, Illinois.
He was one of those guys that he started from nothing, and whenever he passed, he still had nothing, but he had a hell of a time getting there.
Buddy was an icon because he was a local guy that went without the corporate sponsorships and the major money people behind him.
Buddy was one of those type of guys that he really wasn't looking for the easy way out. Actually, most of the time it was just the opposite.
My father knew the significance of what this car was, not because it was the fastest or the greatest, but it was what independent racers could make from working with nothing. Sometimes in life you have to work with what you have, and that was what Buddy did.
4 cars remaining in Modified Eliminator. Buddy Ingersoll, that's the Pinto with a turbocharged engine.
When he bought this car, it had just a straight 4-cylinder in it.
But it's so unique in its own right, because who had a 4-cylinder with a turbo doing the speeds in a Pinto?
But he just wanted to, kill you every time, and he would just go out there and just run it flat out. This thing didn't have all the electronics. It didn't have, all this type of stuff that, we have today. So it's just like, just rev that, pop the clutch and shift the gears, and there the light comes on, and we can go down through there. Well, let me tell you, in 1978, whenever he won the Spring Nationals, they did an on-track protest.
And a red light for Paul McCure, giving the win automatically to Buddy Ingersoll. An interesting point, Buddy Ingersoll has had a red light against him in every round of competition today.
They were trying to prove a point like, why are we even pulling up here? We can't beat him.
We went from pretty much fender to fender all the way down to the frame, the engine taken completely off of the motor mounts. My father would be in here many, many nights. He would have the motor completely apart. All the way down to the crankshaft, to the pistons, everything, all the way down, cleaned it, rebuilt it to the point it could be turned over right now and started. But he never did. Every place we've gone, it's either been with straps with another vehicle or pushing and pulling and tugging. I can see it going to anyone who appreciates the preservation of hard work of an American that started with very little and strived to do better and worked with what he had.
You can ask any one of them that is a Ford fanatic, and they know about this car. They know who had it, and they know quite a bit about it. And whoever buys this car, they're never going to race it. They're not buying it for that reason.
It's a piece where it can be preserved and looked at and reminisced about as a part of the history of the sport. It's one thing to read about history in the books or to learn about it, but when it's tangible and you can smell and feel and look, that's when the history comes alive. But Ingersoll became a national champion by taking a Pinto and a turbo. Bringing the two together, you get something that's created, something new. When you're involved in something, you get into it. That's what you remember. It's not this piece that someone will enjoy for years to come. It's breaking a vehicle down with your father, spending that time and him teaching you all the little things, and that's the appreciation I take away from it. That's what that car means to me.